traffic jam in Seattle. I hope you guys doing what you're supposed to do, being you're supposed to be. I got a good show for y'all. Lots to talk about, Kareem the Dream, keep up with everything.
Get your entertainment news with Kareem on the Traffic Jam, Thursday at 4 p.m.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African-American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized people. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil-Am Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in Phil-Am Radio every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Rainier Avenue Radio App.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
Hey, Seattle. Here are some storage tips to love food, stop waste. Onions make potatoes sprout faster. Keep onions away from potatoes. Ripe bananas give off a gas that makes the fruit around them ripen faster. Store bananas away from other fruits. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money. Save food. Save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
You know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into Clean Greens Living Broadcaster here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your host, Queen Bree. I hope everyone is doing well. It looks like spring is here. Almost here. Coming up, spring will officially be here March 20th. But right now, the weather is so beautiful and it is lifting my mood. How about you guys? If you're tuning in to Clean Greens Living Broadcaster here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. I'm your host, Queen Bree. Announcements for today. We are now enrolling those of you who are interested in our CSA. So if you are a community member that wants to support the mission of Clean Greens, which is to provide fresh organic produce to our community, for those who lack access, for those who cannot afford fresh organic produce, we give it away for free. Our CSAs help with that mission. So you buy a CSA, you help us feed a family. I'm also excited that this Saturday that we are going to be going down to the farm and we are going to be seed starting to grow produce this season. So if you want to partake and learn how to start seeds, see what the produce looks like from the seed, and then when we're in full season, come on down. We're going to meet at New Hope Baptist Church at 9 a.m., 124 21st Avenue, and we're going to head out to the farm, be there by 10 a.m. We are starting to see this little seedling. This is a start, which started from seed, and then it grew to the produce that we fed our community. So if you want to be a part of that, please meet us at the church or contact me at blackdollarcleangreens@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on our website at www.cleangreensfarmmarket.com. I look forward to seeing you there. I can't wait. Of course, I'll take some videos and pictures. It's always a good time on the farm. It's always a good time being back, being able to feed our community. So, question of the day. This weekend, I had the pleasure of attending a memorial service for someone. I was there to help with coat check, but I was able to gained so much insight and learned so much about the dearly departed. His name was Tim. I cannot pronounce his last name, but he was a scientist. He took part in what is science research, gene research. But it was like this beautiful service, and they had these. I meant to bring it with me so you could see. They had these name badges, like you were going to a conference. Then they had these little tags that was like, "How do you know him or your friend? Did you guys bond over your love for Star Trek? Did you bond over?" Just like, how did you bond over him? How did you know him? Now, I didn't know our dearly departed Tim, but I was able to like get a sense of him and who he was and the impact that he made in his life through his family and friends, and learned that I connected with Tim because we're both from Oklahoma. We both love dogs. We both love Starbucks. Okay, I used to love Starbucks. Now that I am moved to a different area, I am all about Dutch Bros, y'all. I am late to the game. Dutch Bros is where it's at. Anyways, so yeah, I bonded over him. But that brings me to the question of today. What kind of impact do you think you would leave behind when you go? What kind of impact do you think you would leave behind when you go? And that brought me to the question because I got to know this man and I got to know his family. They were so nice, welcoming. They had like, it was called like the memorial was like Museum of Tim, which was cool. He had all these collectibles for Star Trek. He was a Star Trekkie fan. He was a Trekkie. Is that what they call Star Trek? He was a Trekkie. He had all of this Star Trek stuff. He even had Curious George stuff. But it was just like a museum of his life. And it made me think like, I don't know this man. Oh, and then another cool thing is his widow. Okay, it was cool. No, I'm not even gonna get no, it was cool, but it was a little weird, but it was cool that she spread his ashes in these different little vials for people to take it and spread his ashes anywhere, and then you pin it to the location that you did it. And I thought that was so beautiful. Like, you get to go spread the ashes and you're still spreading his love all around, right? And I thought that was something beautiful. But what is the impact you think you will leave? We all have an expiration date. That's nothing we can change, but how we leave our community, how we leave our world, it matters. It matters while we're living and it matters while we're dead. Even though he was this big deal scientist, he still looked out for those around him. He helped people. There was a lady there that he inspired and she wrote a book. I forgot the name of it, but next week I'll come back with it because I do plan on reading that. Let's think. What will my impact be? Oh my gosh, this feels weird though, because when you want to talk about yourself, I say this very humbly, but I feel like my impact, y'all are gonna be laughing. There's not gonna be any food at my funeral because y'all came to cry, not to eat. Okay, so y'all figure that out afterwards. But I feel like I am in my community. I care. I help. You always gonna have a good time and a good laugh. Daniel said he's gonna bring the food with him. Yes, bring your own food. BYOF. But no, seriously, I feel like the impact. I feel like I'm doing a good job, and every day I wake up and I try to put my best foot forward. I just want to share just a little bit, and this also leads me to, we will have a guest, hopefully. She's very busy working, but don't worry, we're going to have a show regardless. Because, like my mama always said, I can yappity yap, yap, yap. Anyways, so this weekend was so beautiful because it made me look inward, right? And we don't tend to look inward when we're thinking about everyday life and world. We're always looking at how something impacts us. And I won't say all of us, but there's a good portion of us that don't look inward. And we need to start looking inward to how we impact others around us. And I think Tim did a really good job at showing his love while he was here. He was in his community. He was it was funny because sometimes we always have these. I didn't think nothing of it, but sometimes we do go into things, and when politics come up, you off top think someone like that is gonna vote a certain way. But he was very pro women, pro choice, pro his community, making sure everyone was well. But even the others who voted the other way was there and still joined in love, which leads me to say, we can all have our thought process on politics, but really it's about a human experience and who are we behind these politics? Who are we to take care of ourselves? And I did a little bit more exploration about what does it mean to self actualize? And it's just like taking a deeper look in. But as I did my research, I was looking a little bit. You guys should go look up Abraham Maslow. I'm laughing because I kept saying Maslow. It's Maslow. Abraham Maslow has this pyramid, and he worked on it for years. So the pyramid expanded as much as he worked on it about what self-actualization looks like. Self-actualization looks like, what it could look like, and what does it mean. And so he has this pyramid of psychological needs, safety needs, love and belongingness, self-esteem, and then you get to this, thank you, Daniel, self-actualization. Now, I said I was saying all these words correctly till I got on here. But when I was really researching it, so it goes from the bottom up. So psychological needs typically needs to be met before you can get safety, security, love, belonging, and self-esteem. And when we talk about the psychological needs of what we need to even be able to move up there, had me go even deeper, because it's saying the psychological needs, which is air, food, drink, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex, sleep, all of those things that we need to be able to start to move forward up this chain. And I'm really interested to hear anybody's thoughts on this. If you're listening, let me know what you're thinking and where you feel like you're at on here. But when I was reading, it said your basic needs need to be met. And when I think, okay, air, we get air, but if you don't have access to food, drink, shelter, clothing, warmth, I feel like everybody, no matter the situation they're in, always have time for sex. So we're gonna not even focus on that part, and sleep. But unless those basic needs are met, you can have a hard time getting to safety, your safety needs, which is like the right schools, the police around you, how you're protected, business, medical access to medical care, all these things that we need to take like a look at in our lives to see where we're at. Where are we at on this pyramid? Do we have our basic needs? And when we take a look in, do we have our basic needs? And if we do, now we're going to take a look outward to see if our community has their basic needs and how can we help. This is why we always talk about supporting and being a part of a community, because if people don't have access to things, they won't be able to get to that self-actualization where you are reaching your fulfillment. You're seeking personal growth. You're at your peak experiences. And I feel like I'm at my peak experience right now. But I also want to say that even though we are focusing on this self-actualization and thinking about what it means to be us, how is our esteem? Are we feeling loved and belonged? And what does that look like for us? What is your needs? What do you need to feel loved? What do you need from yourself? Gosh, I swear I'm not even going to say it, because I'm not even going to say it. Anyways, it starts with self, and then it moves outward. So where our good brother Chris used to always be like, be the validation you seek, whatever. It does start with self. And you got to figure out, do I have these basic needs to move up? So that when I leave here, I am leaving here in the best, I'm leaving here the best that I could. We all are on this earth. We're also hard on ourselves. I I go to therapy, and in therapy, what came up for me last week was shame, how much I operate in shame. And I know people, and I want to share this because I know people think I'm always so happy. And we look at my life story via social media, but behind the scenes, there's strife, there's pains. I go through things. And I was thinking about shame came up for me, and then that made me realize how much we work and operate through shame. I had a friend call me going through it really bad last week. And I had to share some things with her. Like, we all go through something. So it's time that we take a look deepward, inward, and see what it is that we can work on for ourselves to get to that point where we can be in that self-actualization. And that takes just starting from the basic needs of, do I have food, shelter, clothing? Am I fed? Yes. Do I have my safety needs met? Yes. And it's not that easy. Life is not easy. No one said life was going to be easy. No one's going to say life is fair. If you grew up in the 80s, I know for me, my mom will always tell me life is not fair. And so that always stuck with me, that life is not fair, but you got to do your best. So start looking inward, guys, and thinking, what kind of impact do you want to leave? Am I on this triangle? Am I where I need to be with knowing who I am? How is my self-esteem? Do I feel loved? Do I feel belonging? The people you have around you matters. They uplift you or they can bring you down. Self-actualization and being aware of yourself also means self-accountability. Taking accountability of your actions. We find ourselves in different situations in life, and we can be mad when someone does something to us or bring us to a situation, but we got to figure out, like, how do we get ourselves in there and what can we do to get ourselves out? So everyone, question of the day is, what do you think what kind of impact do you think that you will leave behind? How are you showing up in your community? How are you showing up for yourself? Are you aware of who you are? Do you know? If somebody said, who am I? I seen this clip somewhere, do not know where I seen it, where it's like, do you know who you are? And if you say, yes, I'm Breon Scott, that's your name. But who are you? What do you do? Now, that is something that I'm still exploring for myself, because when I think who's Breon, I off top think wife and mother, right? But I'm also a woman, and I also have goals and things outside of me as my life as a wife and mother, besides just my family. So I'm not my family. A lot of the times, mothers identify themselves with their families. And we are more than just our families. And we need to understand, first of all, Women's History Month, get into it. Women have created and been there supporting for years, not just themselves and their family, but their community, and showing up and showing what needs to be done. And with that being said, I'm super excited about our guest. I'm so happy that she could come. It is Myesha Mitchell from My Time Massage. This woman is phenomenal. I'm going to bring her on because I could talk all day about who she is. I literally just met her, and this is my sister for life. She is, bring Myesha on so we can have this conversation.
Oh, hello. I'm looking rough because Myesha is no makeup. She's at the office.
Myesha. Yes. First of all, you may not have on makeup, honey, but the skin is giving.
Okay, thank you. Is the skin giving?
The skin is giving. In the hair.
Thank you. I know. I'm like, I see you curls popping.
I have to get my life together, honey.
I see you. You're going to get your life together more than mine today. I'm jealous. Jealous.
Well, you can thank yourself, honey, because okay, so Myesha, look at, honey, when we get together, we gotta give each other compliments. But okay, so Myesha was gonna be a guest on the show, but she wanted me to get an experience of her massage. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first said I'll do it, I was like, oh, I don't feel like going. I want to just cancel. But when I went and when I was done, that whole experience has left a huge impact on me, Myesha. And so before we even get into the impact that it left me, let's just talk about what it is you're doing, what you do. Tell us about your business and how you got started.
Yes, y'all. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you having me here, Bree. It's a lot going on. I've been busy like crazy this last week. I did a reproductive justice conference, and the week before, 2 weeks ago, and last week. For y'all who don't know me, I'm Myesha Mitchell, owner of My Time for Massage. I am a birth doula and community advocate. I do work in public policy for health equity and reproductive justice. I'm passionate about fighting for Black women and Black families. I'm a mother of two. I have a 24-year-old and a 6-year-old. So for me, I really like to represent for our community because I've been through a lot and a lot of trauma in my life, which I'll get into in a little bit. But how I got into this work is from some of those situations. One of them being a survivor of police brutality. I had an officer racial profile me in 2010. He tased me 5 to 7 times after touching me inappropriately. I went to jail. He falsified his report, said I was someone else to excuse his behavior. I fought it, made it to federal court. They found him not guilty. And I fueled that pain into purpose in creating My Time. And I can say that a lot easier now than I could 10 years ago. Grief and trauma is a heck of a thing. And this stuff stores in our body. And I didn't understand things the way that I do now. With a lot of the family history that I have, I've been through a lot of abuse and abuse in my family, abuse with friends, abusive relationships. And so to have something happen like this also, again, with this officer, just exacerbated it on me feeling good in my own skin. And I gained 100 pounds in traumatic weight gain. I had so many things that happened to me from my mental health, anxiety, depression, insomnia. I had PTSD, still have PTSD. This is something I live with and will live with for the rest of my life. But the way that I manage it is different. And that's what I encourage people to do too. And a lot of us in community are dealing with different forms of trauma. Literally, I have a sister here right now that we were just talking about that. And literally, we all are going through it in different ways, shapes, and form, but we're not taught to how we can work through it. And so with my massage, I do informed trauma care. It's deep tissue therapeutic. It's not a foo-foo session. So I tell people, if you want to come and see me, this is not going to be something where we're dismissive of things. And I've always tell people, I'm like, in my office, we're going to address, not suppress. So if you have things in your body, it's the best to address them. And our Western medicine, it teaches people to, pain is bad. But in the world of what I teach that pain is actually good because you want to be aware of what's happening in your body and acknowledge it and work on it so you can change it. And so that's what we do here. And that helps to increase your life expectancy. It helps reduce the risk of pain. It helps reduce the risk of injury, helps with mental health, it helps with mental clarity, helps with energy. Even for myself, I live this as a lifestyle. I've been doing this now 14 years and 10 years in private practice. I have one of the top Black owned offices in Seattle. And I, won Best in Northwest by the Seattle Times in 2023. I've got all the accolades, but my biggest accolade to me is what I've created with the free massage program. In King County, is the first of its kind, and I have about 180 people who have enrolled in this program so far. And I want to keep pushing to see more programs like this thrive, and knowing that this is something that is for us. So I'm super passionate about my work. I'm super passionate about getting these message out and having people know how they can support me and continuing to grow something like this, because it's not always funded. So I've been trying to figure out those pieces and making this more sustainable lifestyles for other people who are Black and brown.
Nice. And I love that. Before we get into it, because we could talk. How can people enroll to be a part of the free massage therapy? Or if they can afford it, how can they support you and come to you? You guys, we're going to talk about her massage, but I want to get this information out because time is short. So how can we reach out and be a part?
And so for my free massage program, if you follow my Instagram, I have a link in there that says the intake form for the free Google Doc. And I'm going to, again, encourage you, if you can afford to pay me, please don't take advantage of this. This is for people who are truly in hardship. So if you have a job with good benefits, use them. I do not accept insurance, but I can give you notes to submit for reimbursement from your insurance on your own. I have a medical billing background, so I strongly encourage people to do that because so many people have benefits and they never use them. So take advantage of those things. Take advantage of those HSAs. Make sure that you're using the benefits that you're paying for. And my new client special is what I recommend for everybody to come in. It's my infrared sauna, then massage. It's 90 minutes. That's a thorough session. That is what Miss Bree had. And it is the way to go because if you haven't had a good quality deep, especially in a while, that sauna helps to relax your body first and makes it less invasive and makes it easier for you to receive. So I like to get people in the mental space to receive before I even touch them. So, and this is experience, darling. It's an experience. So
It is an experience.
Experience.
No, and she is not exaggerating. Like when she say it's painful, okay, look, it's painful, but she walks you through how to breathe through the pain. And then what I love about your massages is that you would be like, now see how this arm feels compared to this arm. And you can feel the difference in what she was doing with her work. Like you walked me through every step. You rubbed out all of it. And then on top of that, see, Black women are magical because you go in for a massage therapy, but you feel like you're in actual therapy because we talked about like trauma being stored up in my body. Now I'm more aware of like how my body feels, how I feel on the inside, what my arm is looking like. Am I stiff? What exercises and stretches can I be doing in between massages to come back? Because honey, I'm coming back. The pain was painful, but it was worth it because I literally the next day was up. I felt good. I felt mobile. And not even just with my body, but my mental capacity, wanting to go and do more and think more. And like it's an experience.
Yes, that's so good. And that's what I want people to feel. And also too, again, representation, right? So having someone who looks like you, that is educating you and has the lived experiences like you, that's powerful. You know,
Okay, wait, Myesha, I'm sorry. I can't cut you off. That's time. Sorry. But she will be back on in a couple of weeks, right?
Yes, I'm definitely coming back.
And we're going to talk more about this, but this was on topic. This was on purpose. You guys reach out to her. My massage, Myesha Mitchell on Instagram. My time for massage. Please go follow her, guys. All right, guys. Talk to you later.